Either in the seas or up in the sky, we travel to seek for something more, something great, something beautiful. But we tend to forget that certain greatness and beauty lies within places so near, yet still so far to us. A distance we overlook, a beauty we don't fully appreciate because it's just close. The water forms and landforms around the marvelous Maribohok don't disappoint. I've always appreciated for what it is. But going back there again, all alone but with a purpose, it's fulfilling. It's realizing. It's eye-opening. I've always looked at these with the people I love, friends and family, but now staring at its beauty and its entirety in all focus. It's a landscape and a horizon I just want to keep on coming back to. Crossing the vast seas, salt air, on a ferry, with the summer breeze making great strokes on your hair. Seems so good on paper, but the rocky shores were all I needed. Flew across islands and seas, through the clouds. The blue sky is right in front of you, like a canvas with clouds as paint. A wonderful sight. But the view above the mountaintop is as calming yet breathtaking at the same time. I've always been fascinated by its parallel, how similar yet so different, how near yet so far in perception. I perceive Punta Cruz Beach as the shore with rich history and the calming waters that make you want to stay. And I perceive the mountaintop of Pangituan as an eye in the sky, seeing vast distances in such height, the view that keeps you coming back for more. The Punta Cruz Beach, residing right below the famous Punta Cruz Watchtower, is a rocky beach that has become a staple for family occasions and outings. There wouldn't be a day that it's empty. The beach actually lowered down after the massive 7.2 magnitude earthquake on October 15, 2013. What you see before your eyes was once underwater. It was quite fascinating, especially that I don't have any recollection of what it was supposed to look like before. Since I was a child, this beach is a magnet of memories, of a large family torn apart with distance, but brought together due to this beach. Some parts of the water are submerged in seaweed, and despite its rocky surface, the floors of the seas are filled with white sand. Beaches and historical sites like the Punta Cruz Watchtower can attract tourists, boosting the local economy through increased business opportunities such as diners, stores, and local artisans. I can vividly remember ice cream vendors roam around the cottages. All of these ties to the beach. Before a dive or swim, you're indulged with many graces by the people. The presence of the historical watchtower adds cultural and historical significance to the area. The local authorities of Barangay Punta Cruz often work to preserve the natural beauty of beaches through initiatives such as beach cleanup programs and the protection of local flora and fauna. And also as a member of Kaski Maribohok or Kabatan-Unan Alang sa Cagayan, we also conduct coastal cleanups from time to time to maintain the cleanliness of the shores. Historical structures like the Punta Cruz Watchtower may undergo restoration and maintenance to ensure they are preserved for future generations, and with that, the beaches are also protected and preserved also. The local government of Maribohok also implement regulations to manage tourism activities and protect the environment and historical sites. But it is still inevitable that these can cause some problems, like how excessive tourism and development can put pressure on local resources and ecosystems, potentially causing environmental damage and impacting the tranquility of the area. Pollution from tourists and nearby urban areas can also harm the beach and surrounding waters. But all the Maribohocanos do all their best to maintain and preserve this landmark that made Maribohok one of the cultural icons in Bohol. Just like the famous Mount Everest, this mountain also lies between the borders of Barangay Pangituan and Handig, but having most of its land area in Pangituan, but it's still near to the proximity of Barangay Handig. Despite being a mountain, it is inhabited and center of two staple tourist spots of Barangay Pangituan, but due to its sloped terrain, the roads are still untouched to cementation. and only the bravest vehicles can go up these highly sloped areas. The peak of this mountain is turned into a haven for hikers and jocks alike. The owners of this land called the peak as Barbara's Paradise, in homage to the late owner who used to stay there to see the beautiful view. The terrain of this mountain is typically rugged by steep slopes, rocky outcrops, and often sharp ridge lines. These features are the result of erosion, where natural forces like wind and water that gradually wear down the rock and soil, exposing the underlying geology. The rugged terrain can make mountain peaks challenging to access, but also adds to the allure of natural landmarks. The Pagituan Mountain Peak offer breathtaking panoramic views of the surrounding landscape, attracting tourists and providing recreational opportunities. And the ecosystem can be rich in biodiversity, supporting unique flora and fauna. The barangay officials of Barangay Pangituan implement regulations to control activities such as logging and construction that could harm the environment around mountain peaks. But all have its pros and cons. These landforms can be drawn to environmental degradation, such as improper land use, deforestation, and infrastructure development. The peak can also be susceptible to natural disasters like landslides and soil erosion that pose risk to both local community and visitors. While in the end, the allure of the Punta Cruz Beach and the majestic heights of Pagnituan Mountain Peak transcends not mere attractions, but they represent far more than the beauty of nature. They mirror our profound intrinsic connection to the very essence of land and sea. These remarkable locales becomes chapters of our shared story, the backdrop to our daily lives, and the landscapes we're inexorably drawn to revisit time and time again. As I watch the sunset at the Punta Cruz Beach and witness the sunrise in the Pangituan Mountain Peak, we're greeted with specific, tangible details that reveal the significance of these places in our lives. The salty tang of the sea breeze, the feel of the rocky terrain beneath our feet, all form a sensory tapestry that weaves together our experiences. These places are not mere destinations, but living entities with their unique characteristics and stories to tell. In essence, the Punta Cruz Beach and Pagnituan Mountain Peak are more than just geographical features. They're the living embodiment of our shared experience, the canvas on which our lives are painted, and the chapters of our story that will continue to unfold, beckoning us with their beauty that is both close but yet so distant in its profound significance.